And welcome to the Book You're live with Denise Harris on KBLP. We're going to be talking Thanksgiving. There she is. I thought you would hear me. Anyway, thanks for being here, guys. Appreciate it. We're going to talk some Thanksgiving tidbits. Have you ever wondered if we haven't started eating turkey, what would we be eating? I think we'd be like Daryl in The Walking Dead. How about squirrel? Yeah, too cold, too cold. Is it snowing there, Lori? Close that door up there. It's too cold. It's going to be freezing tomorrow morning. I'm going to be like, I don't want to go out, but I'm going to have to. Yeah, close that door up there. So have you ever wondered or what we'd be eating instead of turkey if somebody hadn't started the turkey thing? What about squirrel like Daryl? We could be eating squirrel or possum. Yeah, I don't know about that, but that could have been. It could have been. Have you ever wanted? Does anybody have anything different than turkey on Thanksgiving? Any of you? I mean, I haven't. I'm not a big turkey eater. Squirrel soup. Oh, I'm sorry. That just grossed me out totally. Oh, yeah, we could be eating squirrel or possum or duck or something. Does anybody eat anything other than turkey for Thanksgiving? Oh, and I forgot to hit iHeart. Gosh darn it. You have ham? We have turkey. I'm not a big turkey fan. I like, the dark meat, the legs and the stuff like that. But I like everything that goes with it. The mashed potatoes, the sweet potatoes, the cranberries, the cranberry relish, the olives, the celery, the stuffing. Next week, I want to go into some of your favorite stuffing recipes, dressing as you prefer to call it. I call it stuffing because you stuff the turkey. And they didn't have turduckens either, so there you go. So wherever that came from, I'll never know. Ham? Yeah. Oh, I have ham for Christmas, so... Yeah, well, I usually make the turkey, though, and again this year, so. It's just interesting to think of if we hadn't. You do? I always think, I don't know, I don't like the white meat. It's always kind of dry for me. To me, that's just my opinion. I like the dark meat, but I like everything else that goes with it. And, of course, the rolls. You got to have the rolls. So, what would we be having? It would be interesting, that's for sure. Did you know the first Thanksgiving was held in the year 1621? And it included 50 pilgrims and 90 Wampanoag Indians. I think the Indians could have easily taken that over for sure. And that Thanksgiving feast lasted 3 days. Can you imagine? And many historians believe that only 5 women were present at that first Thanksgiving. So there you go. Like ham, girl. You like the white meat? Yeah, not me. Of course, the gravy. Got to have gravy. The mashed potatoes and the green beans. And the next week we're going to do more recipes. So send me your favorite Thanksgiving recipes, okay? Inbox me on that. Okay. And actually, Thanksgiving didn't become a national holiday until 200 years later, in 1821. Sarah Joseph Hale, she's the woman who wrote the classic Mary Had a Little Lamb, convinced President Lincoln in 1863 to make Thanksgiving a national holiday. After writing letters for 17 years campaigning for this to happen. Yes, dark meat. Yeah, I just wonder if she hadn't have done that, would there even be a Thanksgiving Day? Makes you wonder, because of one person, we have Thanksgiving. And of course, there weren't really turkeys on the first Thanksgiving. So what was on the menu? Probably deer, venison, ducks, geese, oysters, lobster, eel, and fish. They probably ate pumpkins too, but no pumpkin pie, of course. They also didn't eat mashed potatoes or cranberry relish, but probably cranberries themselves. And no turduckens there were no turduckens were to be found during that first Thanksgiving feast. So what if I could go with lobsters for Thanksgiving. That would have been cool too. What do you think? A lobster would have been awesome. It would have been. Or, it's a wonder it's not a goose, you know, because of all the wildfowl that was around. They probably had geese and duck and everything. So, and they didn't have mashed potatoes or anything. So, who started all this? Really? Who started all this? Yay, lobsters. And there were no forks either. So there you go. Those weren't even invented yet. The first Thanksgiving was eaten with spoons and knives. Forks weren't invented to the Pilgrims until 10 years later. And those weren't even really popular to the 18th century. So there you go. So don't put forks at your dinner table. Thanksgiving is the reason for TV dinners. Did you know that? Surprise! Swanson had so much extra turkey, 260 tons to be exact, that a salesman told him they should package it into aluminum trays with other sides, and the first TV dinner was born. They had so much turkey left over, Swanson did. That was crazy. That was our first TV dinner, was turkey with mashed potatoes and dressing. Go figure. And Thanksgiving was almost, fingers were good. Yeah, usually, don't they? Except mashed potatoes. That gets a little messy. Thanksgiving was almost a fast, not a feast. The earlier settlers gave thanks by praying and abstaining from food, which is what they planned on doing to celebrate their first harvest. That is, until the Wampanoag Indians joined them. And lucky for us all, they did, because it turned into a 3-day feast. Okay, so there's some interesting tidbits on Thanksgiving. I'll give you some more later. It's crazy. It's crazy that maybe we wouldn't have had turkey for Thanksgiving. So when Americans sit down with their families for Thanksgiving dinner, most of us will probably gorge ourselves. Well, of course. The cranberry sauce, stuffing, and pumpkin pie. So how do these dishes become the national, what you eat on Thanksgiving options? Who started this stuff? Who decided it was mashed potatoes and gravy, or sweet potatoes, or, cranberry? Again, the turkeys probably weren't on the main menu at the first celebration of the Pilgrims at Plymouth. There were definitely wild turkeys in the Plymouth area. However, the best existing account of the Pilgrim's Harvest Feast comes from a colonist, author of A Journey of the Pilgrims of Plymouth. So there's a book for you. His first-hand account of the first Thanksgiving included no mention of turkey. He mentioned the Pilgrims gathering wildfowl, which could have also meant ducks or geese. So why do we chow down on turkey? You have to know a little bit about the history of Thanksgiving to find out. The idea of giving thanks and celebrating the harvest was popular in certain parts. It was by no means a national holiday. Presidents would occasionally declare a Thanksgiving Day celebration, but it hadn't really caught on nationwide. But many of the early celebrations included turkey. Alexander Hamilton once remarked that no citizen of the U.S. shall refrain from turkey on Thanksgiving Day. Yeah. Oh, Lori, you're so funny. Who is who talking about? What are you talking about? You talking about Valerie? You're talking about me? Okay, so Alexander Hamilton was a big turkey, He was pro-turkey. So there you go. And Bradford's journals were reprinted in 1856 after being lost for a while. And they found a receptive audience with advocates who wanted Thanksgiving turned into a national holiday. And since Bradford wrote of how the colonists had hunted wild turkeys and other fowl during the autumn of 1621, and since turkey is uniquely American, and a scrumptious bird, I might add, it gained traction as the Thanksgiving meal of choice. After Lincoln declared Thanksgiving a national holiday in 1863. There are also pragmatic reasons for eating turkey rather than like chicken. The birds are large enough they can feed a table full of hungry family members, and unlike chicken or cows, they didn't serve much purpose like laying eggs or making milk. And unlike pork, turkey wasn't so common that it didn't seem like a suitable choice for a special occasion either. An interesting 2007 piece in Slate discussed these reasons for turkey's prominence, but also made another intriguing point. The publication of A Christmas Carol in 1843 may have helped to force along the turkey's cause as a holiday delicacy, when Scrooge magnanimously sends the Cratchit family a Christmas turkey. But that makes no sense. It'd be a Christmas then, right? And of course, there was no cranberry sauce either. Cranberries were probably easy to come by, for the pilgrims. But making cranberry sauce requires sugar. Sugar was a rare luxury at the time of the first Thanksgiving. So revelers may have eaten cranberries. It's unlikely that they featured the tasty cranberry sauce. And what's more, it's not even entirely clear that cranberry sauce had been invented yet. It's not until 1663 that visitors to the area started commenting on a sweet sauce made of boiled cranberries that accompanied meat. There is the same problem with potatoes. Neither sweet potatoes nor white potatoes were available to the colonists, so the Pilgrims certainly didn't feast on everyone's favorite tubers, of course. Yuck, what yuck? Mashed potatoes? Excuse me, mashed potato, yuck. What are you yucking about? They did have a lot of venison, though. It's a wonder we aren't eating buffalo either, so there you go. Winslow mentions in his writings that the government sent out a party of 4 men to do some fowling for the feast. But the Pilgrims and the Wampanoag also enjoyed 5 deer as part of their feasting. The meat supposedly arrived as a celebration, as a gift from the Wampanoag king. Yeah, I'm not even going to pronounce it. The king of them. On top of the venison, other meats probably included a lot of fish and shellfish. They were staples of the Pilgrims' diets. Cranberry. You don't like cranberry relish? Oh my God, what is wrong with you? I love cranberry relish. I don't like